Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay, sir. Now, what would you say has been the greatest lesson that you have learned working with the pastors?
There are many lessons, many lessons to learn that unfortunately many of our pastors need help. One, the way they look at things, the filters they use, they are more materialistic than even worldly people. Before they attend to you, it must be a big name. They must be able to benefit from you. There are very many fleshly things about many pastors. But thank God, despite who we are, God is still using us. But our effectiveness can be much increased if we pay attention to those details that is hindering us.
Okay. What is your take on some pastors going into politics?
Well, I did.
I know in Ogun State. I know that is why I asked. I know about yours in Ogun State.
Well, I was convinced, and I worked with Dr. Samuel Odunaike. He went into politics in '87. I was close to him. Then I've been close to Pastor Bakare. I know that he has a role in our rebuilding our nation, and I know his time will come. I have no doubt about that. One of the things I found out is that Bible calls us light in the middle of darkness. There are so many dark practices in politics, very dark, so dark that governance in Nigeria is largely a product of sorcery and divination. The average politician has a babalawo that is living close to him that tells him what to do on a day-to-day basis. The average politician spends a lot of time in the groove, empowering himself. Yoruba before an average pastor an average politician goes out, before he dresses, he has charmers who prepare charms and lays him all over with charms before he wears the clothes. So sometimes when you see politicians in Agbada, it's not what you see is not the actual weight. The charms that are prepared that are on their bodies are almost double their real size. So our politics is very much laced with a lot of charms and divination and sorcery. And the number of those who are light are not enough. In fact, they swallow us up. I know many serious believers who went into politics and became like them. Because one believer in the middle of 1,000 charmed people, you get drawn. You have to be a man of serious principles not to fall for it. I served in government. I know the pressures. I know those who buckled. I know those who, you can't call them Christians anymore because of the desire to participate in the loot.
Now, considering your relationship with Pastor Tunde Bakare, what kind of person is he? And for those who are not as close to him as you are, how would you describe him? And how would you describe his style, controversies, and stuff?
Pastor Bakare is not controversial.
Okay. Yes, sir.
The problem is the environment in which he operates.
Okay.
In an environment where people don't tell the truth.
Okay.
So the truth teller becomes controversial because then he says things that people dare not say. Pastor Bakare, in my 34 years of relationship with him, is the epitome of, is a specimen of who I would call a Christian, a believer, a man of his word. One of the problems I have with pastors is that they're not men of their words. They say something now and they change. If Bakare tells you he's doing this, he doesn't need to be reminded. He will do it. He's a man of conviction. And that's the reason why it's controversial. We have men who don't have any conviction whatsoever. They flow with the crowd. They do what is popular. They do what will make them win. They bend anywhere. Bakare can't do that. Bakare is too straightforward, a human being that you can put him in a straight jacket. A very humble man, a very nice man, very, very nice man. I know that he doesn't cut that picture from afar. People,
Okay.
all right.
Other than saving your soul, like the born again Christians say, what is the other greatest thing, that the Lord has done for you?
Well, saving your soul is perhaps the basic thing.
Okay.
What God wants every believer, every person to become is to become the best of you. Is God's intention is to make us, to maximize His making of us, to be relevant, to make impact in whatever field you find yourself in, to actualize. Now, I've been teaching principles of, I call it intestinal. What's the word again now? That God has put so much in each of us that if we are to reach our potential, the world, your environment, if each man becomes all that God wants him to be, your environment will become a district of heaven. Because there's so much God has loaded inside of us. It's a shame that many of us will die having accomplished only a fraction of it. And so for me, I'm grateful to God that I'm saved. I'm born again. That much I know. I'm not perfect at all. So, but I try every day to be more like Jesus, more like God, and to love and care